Hello and welcome to Grind Slime TV with me, your host Aaron. And today we're going to be looking at a whole bundle of grindcore. It was pointed out to me today from someone in one of my videos, I believe it was the Deeds of Flesh one, that in their own words, that I haven't really got enough sort of grind content going on, particularly for a channel that's called Grind Slime. So I thought it's a fair point, if that's the point they were making, but instead of doing picking an album, I thought let's bring the grindcore content up to speed. Because I looked back and I was going through it and I was like, really? And looking back, yeah, it was quite a while since I did a video just dedicated to some grind. So we're going to change that today. Now I know I said before that I wasn't going to be doing any lists or anything for a while. So don't look at this as a list because it's not numbered. These are all different kind of releases. And it's just a bundle thrown together. There's nothing particularly any order or function. I was just like, oh, talk about this, oh, and this, and this. So today's video will be a little bit longer, but I'll try not to bore you. So we'll try and shmoom through some of these releases, and some of these are sort of some classic, some not so classic, some more modern. I thought I'd get a nice mix. So, the first thing I wanted to get out was this amazing compilation, which has been quite an important compilation in my life, and that is the compilation disc, A History of Grindcore. Grind Your Mind. Oh yeah, 2 discs packed, filled with quality. Absolute quality grindcore. Right, we're talking like here's a bunch of the bands that we'll be featuring on here, yeah? So Discharge, Napalm Death, Chaos UK, Siege, Repulsion, Terrorizer, Potential Threat, Ripcord, Cryptic Slaughter, Concrete Socks, Vicious Circle, Cheated Chrome Motherfuckers, Electro Hippie, Generic. This goes on. Let's go out a little bit further. Anal Blast, Sore Throat, Sperm Birds, Civilized Society, Cripple Bastards, Filthy Christian, General Surgery. That's just disc 1. Yeah? And there's loads more on disc 1 than just that. You know, I'm skipping ahead on some of them. Second disc, more Cripple Bastards. You get their 1991 session demo, and you also get the 89 session demo on this side. So you get 2 demos, which is awesome. Mortician, Disrupt, Agathocles, Brutal Truth. Cephalic Carnage is the one band on here I skip, and it's nothing against them. I think they're a very cool band and they're great live. I caught them with Hate Eternal some years back, nearly 20 years ago now. No, about 17 years ago, 2008. So yeah, about 17 years ago. And yeah, it just doesn't do anything for me. It's just not my kind of music. Like, it's really cool and everything and different, and I get why they got a huge fan base, but it's not for me. What else we got here? Silent Green, Agaphobic Nosebleed, and on the Frack, Narsum, Big Destroyer, Exhumed, Skinless, Defective Brain, Regurgitate, Cretin, Insect Warfare, Mistress. I mean, this has just got titans, okay? And their songs are spread out throughout, and quite a few of these bands get like 2 to 4 songs each on it because of the length of them. So you get a cool idea of each band. And inside of this, you've got your double CD, there's the yellow one. And this does open this way, I know it does. And there's the red one. See, pretty cool. And what I like about this is that on the O card, it says liner notes from Albert Mudrian, the author of Choosing Death. Remember that. A fold-out poster by Turner Prize winner Mark Titchener. It's in the he cites grindcore as a huge influence on his work. And the design, front cover, and all that lot, is by Mike Kenny, the designer of Napalm Death's Noise for Music's Sake and Order of the Leech album covers. So that's pretty cool. And look at the little poster as well. That you get the Mark Titchener poster, which is pretty cool and very in keeping with the theme there. Very cool. Very, very cool. And you've got some nice history on the back there, talking about, of course, the Indian restaurant and the pub, and it's just, like the Mermaid, as it was once called, and whatnot. So that's really cool. The whole John Peel thing going on. So it's got a few quotes in there from some of the very notable people, like Shane Embry, Mitch Harris, John Peel. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. So I really recommend getting onto this and finding it somewhere. And just, if, whether you're new to grindcore or not, this is something I think that could be really enjoyed or at least appreciated. So boom, boom, boom. Grind your mind. Make it happen. A history of grindcore. Fantastic. Now, coming up next, one of the bands that wasn't featured on the, in fact, none of these further bands are featured on a Grind Your Mind compilation. Wasn't deliberate. Actually, no, one of them was, sorry. And we'll do that one. Regurgitate. Oh, this is the Concrete Human Torture demo from '94. Oh yes, I always get this and self disembowelment mixed up, and self dismemberment. Sorry, so I'm useless at names. Cannot get rid of this. And boom. This demo is dedicated to all grindcore maniacs on our fucked up planet. Cheers. And cheers to you too, Mr. Regurgitate. Oh gosh, she's having a shocker. This is pretty cool. Nice little printed shell, nothing fancy. You've got your 17 tracks here, all bangers of course, all bangers of course. You know, so that's always nice. And you've got the really cool old logo there. I always love the old logo. It's the one thing about the later releases, like Carnivorous Erection. I love that album, but I just wish it had the old logo on it because that logo is so much better. But this is really cool, really, really raw stuff from out of Sweden. It has its own sort of like classic Swedish sound, but not necessarily full-on Swedish death metal as a lot of people might expect. But this has got absolute bangers on it. Yep, it's got this. Let's have a little look. There we go. Putrid reek of the decomposed embryos. That's a good one. Bludgeoned to death. Forced abortion through the rectum. Drugged, raped, and excreted. They got some. Yeah, they got some good ones. Oh, revel in menstrual excrements. That's a really good one too. I like that. The re-recording of that one as well on. What was it bloody called? See, that it was the one that came with that poster. I don't know. You see that over there going on? Yeah, that one. Whatever the fuck I've got it over there. It'll come back to me, so don't worry. So yeah, nice cool demo there. Really, really. This is definitely one of my top favourite releases from Regurgitate. Because I just love that demo stuff, as you all know, and this has got that sort of really hectic, kind of manic, kind of rehearsal space kind of recording. Pretty sure it was the GMB Crematorium. Fantastic. So there you go then. Got all that going on. So yeah, really cool, really old school sounding. I mean, '94 doesn't get much more old school than that. Really, really cool. And as always with Regurgitate, speed's the name of the game. They're all about that. They love it. Right, so coming up next. Now it's time for a bunch of bands that aren't on that compilation. Let's grab a 7-inch, shall we? Now this one is a really cool one, a bit more modern. This came out in the past 10 years or so, I think. But this is a split between Hellcrusher and Visions of War. And it is absolutely fantastic. Crust punk as you like, with some sort of motor grind stuff going on in there, but undeniably like just all out heaviness as well, man. Like really distorted. Like I think like Visions of War have like a super fuzz pedal and a HM2, so that's really kind of pounding sort of sound. But yeah, plenty of D beats in here and whatnot. Nice to look at that. I love that artwork too. I think it's so cool. You know, the skull with the punky hair, but the bullets as well, and just bones. Just really cool stuff. And on the back, you've got like this vulture fighting a hyena over a carcass, which is pretty cool. Loving that. Meanwhile, that's going to come down and really ruin their day. On the inside, you've got your memorial, of course, and you've got the lyrics and whatnot. Yeah, very, yeah, so these are both British bands, I believe. Yeah, one was, let's have a look. Yeah, this one was from Bradford. And Black Lodge Studio. Oh, the other one's from Sweden, I think. Yeah, cool. So yeah, Visions of War from Sweden, Hellcrusher from the UK, but a really strong release from both bands. My favourite one on here is the opening track, Game of Survival, but possibly the last track by Visions of War as well, Mind Slaughter. That's really good. I mean, all the songs in here are good, but the opening Hellcrusher track, Game of Survival, that's just the most catchiest, I think. And actually, Visions of War to Live in Misery might be, it's got a bit of a Motorhead feel to it on that one. Either way, every song on here is a banger, so you can't go wrong. It's like 12 minutes of just cool, really no holds barred sort of crust kind of grind thing going on. And for those of you who like it nice and colourful, just solid red, which was kind of cool. You know me, I would have liked the black, but you know, the red with the black and white, I get it. It works. It's absolutely fine. And it, above all else, it sounds really good. So zero issues where that's concerned. So if you're into your sort of, you know, your, let's see now, Discharge, you know, then sort of like Society's Victims era sort of Discharge, you know, like the Y compilation, like that, but not a direct clone either, you know, and also like Anti-Simex, a lot of that in there, Disrupt, you know, so it's got the heavier side of things going on too, like, you know, a bit of the Exploited in there, so, you know, plenty to go by on that record. Whole thing's up on YouTube, really, really worth it listening to. It's Hellcrusher and Visions of War. Now, up next, let's grab the CD. This is a third album by the band Blood. This is I can never remember its bloody name. It's O Agios Pithane or something like that. Pithane? I don't know. Something weird. But love the artwork. This is their third album, like I say. And this is probably my second favourite album that I've heard so far from this band. Because I love them. Impulse to Destroy, their first album, was wicked, but it's not my favourite by any means. And the second one, what was it, Christbait? Again, cool album. They've not put out anything bad, but it's just this is their third one. And I think Depraved Goddess was either their fifth or sixth, but Depraved Goddess is my favourite one. Let's talk about this one. Well, this one doesn't seem to get that much love, really, from what I've seen, you know. All your lyrics pretty standard, no bonus art or anything like that. But, you know, it does what it does. And it is what it is. Still a better job than Earache. So, you know, got a nice sort of 3 panels, really nice, 20 tracks, 18 songs, really, really cool stuff. Heavy, raw, it's mid-pace to fast, it has its slow moments, but, you know, these guys, they're all about the very sort of rawness, but also very sort of brutal kind of unclean sound. You know you're listening to people who just like to make a lot of racket, but it's very methodical racket at that, so definitely a banger. So that's their third album, like I say, and I'd say it's a good place to start as well, if I'm being honest with you, because like Impulse to Destroy, I think you've got to be into that sort of kind of off the wall kind of stuff to begin with, particularly with the vocals at the start of the album, where he has like some sort of octave effect on it. I mean, when I first heard Blood, that was the first thing I heard, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure how I feel about this. But it grows on you after a while. But if you just want to go straight in and be like, what is the Blood sound, then this is a great place to kickstart that little venture, make that happen. So next, another CD. I'm going to speed these up a bit more. We've got a compilation with 96 songs on it, and this is I believe they're South America, yeah, Colombia. Now, if Agathocles were from Colombia and they played power violence instead of mincecore, that's what these guys sound like, in my opinion. This is Chulo, and they've got a shitload of stuff on the back. This is a compilation of all their 7 inches and splits. really cool stuff, and like just like your little like mini albums that they've put out here and there, like and whatnot. But yeah, really cool release. This was put out by Grindfather Productions a few years back. So yeah, so this is everything they've done from 2009 to 2019. So yeah, really cool release. And what I like about this is that it doesn't dip in quality anywhere. Like all the recordings are pretty consistent. You know, they've all got that really raw sound and fast and punky and but you know down tuned as well. So it gets that sort of heaviness across. Really cool band. They got splits all over the place. So this is a fantastic place to start. I think you can get this through Grindfather as well, and probably on Discogs and whatnot. But yeah, 96 songs of just pure Colombian power violence, and it sounds fantastic. It is angry, it is minging, no holds barred, and the vocals are fantastic. They sound like just general painful hatred. I love it. Really cool band. So, coming up next from Australia, we've got Shit Grinder. This is their demo, Life is Corrupted. Absolutely fantastic little demo. And I've got a bunch of stuff by Shit Grinder, and it's hard to tell what my favourite one is. This is definitely up there because you know how I love a demo. I'm a sucker for them. And there's the two boys there. Look, him on the guitar, him on the old drummy drums, and you've got cool little artwork there going on. Really cool. And you've got, I think it's 15 songs on here. Yeah. So really cool. And this is a program repeats on both sides on this bad boy as well, which is always really nice. And this is that kind of if you like bands like Arsuk, and if you're into more modern stuff like maybe Meth Leopard, I'd say this lives on the same sort of avenue as those bands. Really cool, all about the speed, but really good heavy metallic riffs as well that just kick you straight in the balls. You know, it's got a lot of that sort of mass appeal madness kind of feel to it as well. Really good stuff. Not as it doesn't seem to go as slow as those sort of early Napalm Death 7 inches tended to. So it does have its moments for sure. Absolutely. But really good release from a really good band. Definitely worth checking out. They're self-titled as well. I believe that's up on Spotify. So really good place to start. But everything else they've done is up on YouTube as far as I can remember. Now, from Greece, we're leaning a bit more gory sort of side of things, like with old Regurgitation, but with a little bit of a twist. We are talking about Greece's own Autophagia, a one-man band from the late 90s and early noughties. Absolutely fantastic stuff. This is their post-mortem Human Offal cassette, which was limited to 100 copies, 50 on green and 50 on black, including a patch. I kept the hype sticker, so it was on the back of the old stuff it was wrapped in. Little hint there for people who want to keep stuff like this. And my one is number 91. I always get like the higher numbers a lot of the time, which is pretty cool. It's like, oh, by the skin of my teeth. So I've got black cassettes, so only 50 of these bad boys exist, which is really cool. And yep, there it is again, look. Limited to 100 copies, 50 green, 50 black. Just drive that home. And the patch was really cool as well. It's up on my jacket at the moment, my patch jacket. I don't call it a battle jacket because why would I? It's sort of a very standard kind of art there. Look, yeah, track listing, everything. Yeah, really cool, kind of like your usual sort of like gore grind thing you would expect. I think sort of for me, they're sort of reminiscent of like the early-ish style of like squash bowels, but in micro bites. Yeah, really cool. Very unsettling in places, bit experimental and off the wall here and there, but really good fun. Good use of the Omen soundtrack, as many bands have done before and will continue to do. So I'm not going to have a pop it in for that, but yeah, really cool album. This is from 2006, I believe, something like that. I know, maybe 2003, 2004. I can't bloody remember. Either way, banger. Get on that. And that is Postmortem Human Offal by Autophagia, in case you need to spell anything there. Look, oh, go into focus, yeah, that's, you'll suss it. Now, up next, let's grab another 7-inch. We're talking about more pathological kind of gore grind, and we're mixing it up with Brazil's Lymphatic Phlegm. Absolutely fantastic band. Been a big fan of these guys for a good 20 years or so now. This is one of their standalone EP 7 inches, which is awesome, and it's got the song Torsions on there, which is a Dead Infection cover from their album Surgical Disembowelment, which is an absolutely fantastic song, really catchy and heavy. It's got that sort of doom boo doom doom boo doo boo doom doom. It's really cool, really fun song. Then we inside here, and what I like about this as well, it's on the inside of the shell. You've got that extended artwork on the inside. Look, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Eh? I like it when bands do that. It's like a nice little extra bonus touch, just to show that they care. And this is yes, this is 5 songs, no, 4 songs. Sorry, I forget. He does a really crazy long titles like increased intestinal permeability or vulgar tissue excavators and morbid organ plastinators, or macabre fixation with torso truncation, dismantling decrepit autonomy. Yeah, but even like they have subtitles, like that first one, increased intestinal permeability. In the subtitle is altered mucosal immunity in cholestatic jaundice part 2. So it's fucking mental. I guess, and then it's just torsions. So you know it ain't them. You haven't got to read it. Now we've got the cool little insert as well, which is always lovely. All the details and whatnot. More of that sort of pathological artwork and stuff going on, which is always nice. You know, the thank you stuff. No lyrics or anything because, well, doesn't really need them. And cherry on top, a black vinyl. Look at that, mate. Side A, side B. Fantastic stuff. Now, if you're into your sort of like drum machine noise kind of stuff, but you also like a bit of dissonant melody that almost sounds like black metal to a point, then Lymphatic Phlegm has got you covered. Absolutely fantastic gear. They're a 2-piece, if I remember rightly now. I don't know if they were a 1-piece before, or they've mixed it up. I'm not completely up to snuff on Andre's doings and don'ts doings, but pretty cool either way. Look at them spotty feet. Oh, baby feet, covered in spots and boils. It's bad parenting, that is. Little teeth coming out of it. Terrible hands. Didn't wash them, did you? No, you did not. Right, got a few more here for you. We're going over to Canada now. We're talking about Dharma, their 9-track 7-inch from '96. Absolute banger on this little beast, I tell thee. Oh, yes. And it's absolute madness. Very simple layout, just the doop-a-doop-doop. And the track titles on here as well. Like side A is 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And on side B, it's track 8, 19, 22, and 23. I don't know what the story behind that is, but I'm sure it's amusing. But on the other side, it's just white and blank. So very, very old school, very DIY style. I get it. It's cool. Yeah. And you got the standard old sticker thing going on there. Look, really cool. You've got the lady from Suspiria there. Look, absolutely stabbing motherfuckers up. And these are really cool, sort of death grind in your face, very leery, very heavy, but very like 9 tracks on a 7-inch. You know what I mean? So you know what you're sort of getting into, but very aggressive, and they just all round these, and they got catchy stuff too. It's not just in your face all the time, constant bang, bang, bang. You know, well it is, but at the same time, it's like there's nuances there as well. It's like, oh, these guys are actually putting an effort in, as all these bands are, really. But you know, you get some bands that are just like, oh, we're grinders, like we noticed. Whereas these guys are really, really good, consistent stuff. Their full length, Dharmaized, is definitely worth picking up. So I highly recommend this. I believe this is on Spotify. I know it's on YouTube. I can't entirely remember if it's on Spotify or not. This seems to be one of those bands that goes on Spotify, then off, then on, then off. You know, so have a look. But who knows? But iconic Canadian grindcore right there. Really, really worth checking out. Next, we've got a 12-inch. This is a single side 12-inch, and this is by a band called Never Ending War, and this is their demos. 2 demos on here, really cool. Demo 1 and Demo 2. So your one-sided LP, as I mentioned, there's the Obi strip, really cool. I love an Obi strip. Every now and then I think they're pretty fantastic, and it bleeds into the artwork too, which is really cool. And you've got 11 songs there, they're all on one side, so you're looking at 10 minutes of just straight up sort of really fast, aggressive sort of crust and kind of like 80s British hardcore, you know, like your Dooms and whatnot. A lot of that sort of aggression going on here, but there's also that, you know, you get those sort of like song structure, like sort of think of like Discharge as well, sort of thrown in there. But again, bands like Disrupt just got that sort of, they do lean purposely into that sort of heavy territory, and really, really, really good stuff. I mean, first demo's from 2017, second one's from 2018. So you've got some bigger idea of the artwork there, which is really cool. And here they are over here. And they're from Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. There they are, looking very, very happy with themselves. But really, really cool release. Like I say, it sounds a lot more British than it does American. Like I think like Extreme Noise Terror as well, kind of stuff. Which you know, but yeah, there's influences from all over. You know, I certainly haven't heard all of them. But, there we go. Look, there's the 2 demos on one side there. I do like the flat side. I like a flat side from time to time, though. You know, etchings are cool sometimes as well, but I hear they're really expensive to get done. So that's more of a label kind of thing. But who can blame them? But yeah, really, really cool. I found these guys on Bandcamp. So when I got their demos on there, so when I eventually came across a hard copy of this, once again on Grindfather Productions, I was very, very pleased. And I don't know if he still got it, but when I bought this at the time, I think it was something like, it was no more than £12. I think it was like £11.50, maybe £10.50. But yeah, keep an eye for this really, really cool grind. Like, it's got that very sort of just that old school flavour that everybody loves, and quite rightly as well, I say. Let's get this Obi strip back on there, shall we? Yeah, look at that. Let's have a look again with the old Obi. There we are. Oh yeah, they've got the aeroplane look up there dropping his bombs. Oh, bloody hell. So yeah, pretty cool there. And then we've got one more release for you to look at, and this is just a nice fun banger as well from one of the OGs. I say OGs, early 90s, but even still, old school band from Japan land. We're talking Tokyo-san, and this is from their Australian tour, Unholy Grave in Melbourne. This is from 2004, and this is a double 7-inch, which is always cool. I love these things. A lot of people are like, oh, just put it on one 12-inch. Fuck off. We like the double 7s. What we like, you got on the back there. Look, oh yeah, that's the nice and fancy. All the song titles there and some fancy stuff. But then you also get this cool little booklet. You've got loads of lyrics and fancy stuff going on. You've got some posters from the tour and whatnot. You've got some live photos from the same tour. It's always really cool when you get some of these like Australian stuff, because Australia miss out a lot on a lot of these bands because of where they're situated. And so particularly when it comes to tours, they genuinely tend to draw the short straw over there. So it's really cool when you see stuff like this come out, like little bios and stuff. So really, really cool from that sort of perspective. And on side A's and B, you've got Bright Blue. Nice and nice, really done that well. And this is more your noise, punk, sort of hardcore grind. So very all over the place, very manic, not always in tune. C and D, nice and blue as well. But they get the point across, they stick to the songs as best as they can. And just, yeah, they've got such a unique sound that I think they're Unholy Grave, from all their releases that they have, and they have many, this is definitely one that's worth picking up. It's just, you've got less than half hour there of really, really, really cool grind. And it's 20 years back, and it's in an area where they really appreciate it when the bands come by. So that's it from me today. There's my bundle of grindcore. Hope that keeps people a bit more happy around here. Support the underground as well as your local scene, and I'll catch you another time.